What's goody, y'all? It's another video today. Plug the full story remastered. Y'all fuck with that?
Of hip hop, and its influence is still downplayed like crazy.
Excuse
Originating
me.
with a sole group of producers, it's birthed in multiple subgenres itself and received countless mainstream cosigns. There's so much history and drama surrounding it that
Niggas
just
put
isn't
pictures
talked
on the
about.
screen.
So in this video, I'm gonna be doing my best to explain
I didn't even play with those screens. Corey Lingo, I ain't got shit coming with.
the origins, the pioneers, and how Plugg has changed music forever. And
This-
no, you're not tripping. I did already make this video. However, as time has gone on, I feel like I could have added way more and just improved the video overall. So
I want to know what the nigga
here
behind
we
this
are. I'll
mic
keep
sound
the
look
old
like.
one if you want to watch it, but
I feel like
this
he like
video will cover pretty much the same
big
stuff
ass
and more.
African nigga
So
talking into
all
a
that out
mic.
the way,
So
let's
out the
get
way.
into the full story of Plugg. The roots of Plugg can be found in Atlanta, Georgia. The godfather of the genre, Zaytoven, would dominate the early 2010s, working with the hottest artists at the time, such as Gucci Mane, Future, and the Migos. In
Yuck.
early 2010s, working with the hottest artists
Yuck.
at the time,
Yuck.
such as Gucci Mane,
There's no fade.
Zay's production,
Or the camera's that bad. It's one of the two.
like the 808s, snares, and hi-hats. But at that point in time, most people just considered that style of production standard trap. It wasn't until years later that a group of producers would evolve Zaytoven's sound into something new. Stupid Cool was born and raised in Orlando, Florida. His family, which consisted of his mom and two little sisters, grew up in a rough part of the city. His mom would play a variety of different music in the house, so he was exposed to a range of different sounds.
How tall is this nigga, bro? He's built mad unproportionate. Look how big this nigga feet is. Let me show you. Nigga arm
In
mad.
high school, he played the drums and learned how to read music. And after being given a keyboard by a friend, he made his first beat and sold it for $25. After this, he realized he could turn music production into an actual career. And from there, music became his full-time job. But Cool wasn't the only producer making Zaytoven-inspired instrumentals, and eventually, he would come across other producers who had a similar sound. In 2013, Stupid Cool would found the Plugg group alongside fellow producers ASAT, Trouble Music, and Plugg 2. Soon, they would add 3 more producers, Mexico Dro, Playboi Shawty, and Corey Lingo. The group would later be renamed to Plugs, and they would begin using the iconic Plugg tag created by Plugg 2 in almost every track they produced. Naturally, people would begin to call the Plugg style of production Plugg music. The Plugs were a huge part of the early SoundCloud era, working with everyone from Kodak Black to Lil Yachty.
Oh, I gotta hear a song. I didn't notice. I didn't notice.
Dallas, Texas. Diego caught the attention of Dro, and the two began heavily working together, even releasing a tape, Plugg Lingo, on August 31st, 2015. Through their work on this tape, Diego would also begin working with Stupid Cool, which would lead to their own tape, Stupid Ice Volume 1. But out of anyone, it was undeniably the Plugg's work with Playboi Carti that really put the group on the map. Carti would release his first Plugg track, Smash Part 2, on December 2nd, 2014.
I think I read this.
The track was produced on Mexico Dro, and the two would go on to make dozens of classic tracks together.
How old is this thing? I was 9.
Money Counter, and of course, Broke Boy.
I didn't like Broke Boy.
2,907.
Small rent. Like the video, subscribe. Yep, I paid 2,000 or however much he said for the rent, for my rent. Well, it's 2015, right?
It's safe to say that Dro was a huge
I hurt my
part of
back.
Carti's come up. On the outside, everything seemed
Shit.
but behind the scenes, trouble was brewing. You see, there was one small problem.
That shit
Carti never actually paid Dro for any of the songs he produced, which back then was pretty common for Carti. So while Carti was blowing up off those songs like crazy,
1 second, y'all. Sorry, I'm a smoker.
You see, there was one small problem. Carti never actually paid Dro for any of the songs he produced, which back then was pretty common for Carti.
Where he from? I don't know. You a bitch. I can't wait to catch y'all slip. Don't drop shit on me. Oh wait, this is Carti, right? Drop shit on y'all, shit on everything. I'll fight you. I have my niggas at your house today. Try potting. You can't ball. I glad. Why am I saying it like that? I was gladly set your ass up, young and you and Young Benz. Oh, that's crazy. You stealing my beats. You stealing my sound. I ain't never done shit to your ass but make beats that you stole. I don't know how you feel. It's a damn song. What the that you stole beats from with the sound.
So while Carti
I don't know why I
was
said it like that. My fault, y'all. I was trying to do.
Dro didn't see a penny of any of the streams, and eventually,
I actually didn't want to
cut
finish.
off Carti, pretty much ending an era. But as a result of his Carti placements, Dro would begin to gain attention himself, and he would eventually end up becoming one of the biggest producers of the wave. Mexico Dro was born in Georgia and he grew up in a town called Ellenwood. Like
Yo,
Cool,
this nigga
he grew up in a
famous.
rough area,
Man,
but he would
who
learn how
took
to
that
use FL
photo?
at a very young age. Although, in contrast to Cool, Dro didn't really have that much of a musical background and he would basically just click stuff until it sounded good. Eventually, Dro became pretty experienced at producing and he would receive encouragement from his friends and family to take it seriously. But unfortunately, at that point in time, Dro preferred the street life and at age 17, he was arrested. After being released, Dro decided to take everyone's advice and give music a shot. He would begin uploading beats to YouTube where they would rack up thousands of views, and he also started producing tracks for local rappers in the area. Eventually, he was recruited by Plugg, and this is where his career would really start to take off. Dro's first major placement was Plugg by Rich the Kid, released November 17, 2015. The song would become a breakout hit for Rich, but not so much for Dro, at least not at first. Apparently, Rich had taken notes from Carti.
Yo, don't know, like the amount of bape in this video that doesn't even look good, like it's not matching. It probably does, like it just looks so nasty. It's making me not like the brand.
Who ironically was featured on Plugg, and he didn't pay Dro.
And shit like this is what made me like the brand.
For the beat, nor did he
like this mask is not making me like the brand.
Dro for producing the song. This all resulted in Dro beefing with both Rich and Carti.
Like,
in the
why
end,
do you have?
Dro did end up receiving the credit he deserved, but only after he basically threatened them.
Nah, fuck that shit. These niggas is a bitch. I'm telling you, I need to straight up.
Straight up. Pussy ass nigga. Fuck nigga, stop playing with me, man. Word. Oh, I don't say word. Whoa. Whoa. Who put this filter on this shit? That's some real plug-in B shit.
Fucking beats. Everybody
someone need to sample this.
I'm right with saying right now that bitch ass nigga can't even buy no fucking beats, nigga. That's our favorite rapper. That's our favorite rapper, bro. Fuck that nigga, bro. Nah, for real. Tell that nigga he don't want no fucking smoke me. And Rich Kid. That's why I made that little bitch ass nigga move out of Atlanta. And Playboi Carti move out of Atlanta. Nah, for real, nigga. That did that shit for real, boy. It's all good, bro. Cause when I catch y'all fuck ass nigga, bro, it's over with. Carti, if I catch you, nigga, I'm beating your ass. It's over with. I'm taking your chain. I'm taking all your fucking money.
My question is, he just upped the gun. I was expecting him to say he was gonna shoot him. Why not though? And I'm not saying it needed to happen because it didn't. But I'm just saying, I'm just questioning why not. Y'all are in Atlanta, like it get that like I thought it was heavier in NY with guns.
I'm taking your shit.
Turn the phone off, Grandpa. Like this nigga talking mad long.
For real, bro. This ain't no goddamn regular ass shit. This ain't no. Man, fuck them nigga, man.
Thank you.
A year later, Dro would add another hit to his list.
He said,
Gassed Up by Never. On August 29th,
Gassed Up Shorty, said I'll leave my party, hello to the party, yeah.
The beat for Gassed Up has a near identical melody to Plugg. So what happened is that Dro, being mad that Rich stole his beat, basically decided to take matters into his own hands and screw him over by switching up a few things and making the Gassed Up beat. But instead, he accidentally ended up with 2 hits on the same beat. So in a way, he did end up getting revenge because Gassed Up obviously did way better than Plugg. But still, I know Dro was hella confused when Gassed Up started going viral out of nowhere. Now at this point, Plugg
this nigga asshole.
It seemed like everybody in the
who was that? This nigga like Kyle Rich.
Would work extensively with the late Fredo Santana in 2017, and the duo would release 2 projects together. Plugged In and Fredo Krueger 2. We also
never heard. I heard of the Fredo 2
his work with Thousand Man Fani, the most popular track being What's the Worst, which I'm sure everybody agrees is part of the SoundCloud Hall of Fame. Diego Money will continue going strong, releasing legendary tracks like Blue and Green and 2 Glock Shawty, as well as multiple projects with Stupid Cool and Mexico Dro. But unfortunately, this era would eventually come to an end. Mexico Dro, who at this point was pretty much the face of the wave, ended up being arrested in late 2017. And slowly but surely, Plugg was no longer the trendy new sound that everybody wanted to be a part of. Even Carti had already abandoned the Plugg sound, opting to rap on Pierre Bourne production instead. It was all of these events that would lead to people starting to believe that Plugg was dead.
What was that?
I like to call the era after the first Plugg
that Tony Snow
years of Plugg, because while on the surface it seemed to be dying, there were new faces and groups still making Plugg that were popping up every
That's
day.
the Snowman.
To continue the legacy of the OGs while starting their own wave.
How's he dropping the high and the trendy?
Is easily one of the most influential producer groups, not just in the Plugg scene, but in the entire SoundCloud and the underground as a whole. The group was created by NYC-based producer Rob Surreal, who began his career in 2015. He started out uploading beats to SoundCloud and YouTube, which were a mix of everything from generic trap to Zaytoven. He would also release music of his own, even rapping on his own beats. As time went on, Rob would start to be heavily influenced by the beat plugs, and by early 2017, he switched over to primarily making Plugg instrumentals. He would get a handful of early placements, even producing an early Shoreline Mafia song. But his big break would arrive on May 1st, 2017 with the release of Murder, She Wrote by
Yo, I have a fun fact for y'all. Well, not a fun fact. I have like a statement, because I don't really know what it is. This looks like a whack music video. Do y'all think, like, musically, and granted we never saw the decline of TK, but do y'all think, like, he made the rawest music he could? Like, it was never, like, filtered, touched up by, like, a studio? Like, do y'all think, like, he had, like, the rawest sound in music to an extent? Like, maybe that was a bad question. I probably want to word that different, but because that sounded dumb. But still, like,
TK found the beat on YouTube, and he would actually FaceTime Rob to ask if it was okay to use. The song would go on to become a hit with over 180 million streams on SoundCloud and Spotify combined. Another legendary surreal game producer who would play a huge
what the fuck is that? This is like a weirdo.
Was Eddie Gianni. Gianni was born and raised on the south side of Atlanta in College Park. A friend of his inspired him to start producing and showed him the basics, and from there,
he's a producer.
He used FL and began making beats as early as 15, although he would only start taking it seriously after graduating high school. He started out exclusively producing for a friend of his, Flex Malik, and through him, he would be introduced to Slime Cito. After meeting Cito and producing a few songs for him, his career would really take off, and he would begin working with a bunch of different artists in the Atlanta underground. Gianni started out making regular Plugg, but he would end up
this nigga like the Uter, bro,
Plugg with darker melodies and heavier 808s. But probably the most popular member of Surreal Gang and the most influential is Zangang. Much like his brother Rob, he would start out making Zaytoven influenced beats, eventually transitioning to a more
this nigga had stacked jeans before everybody else.
He ended up getting a few collabs with Stupid Cool and Mexico Dro in 2017. But more than anything, Zangang is probably most known for his contributions to the most popular subgenre of Plugg and B. Now I don't want to get too into Plugg and B because I'm actually planning on making an entire video about it similar to this one, but through Zangang's work with artists like Summers and Corey Lingo and furthering the Plugg and B sound, he cemented himself as one of the greatest producers.
Who took this, bro? Who's taking these photos? Where'd you find this fake rose from?
Of all time.
This nigga like a Pokemon.
In my opinion,
they look mad pale. Alright, let me show you.
And I would put him on the same level as the beat plugs in terms of impact. But of course, you can't really talk about the next wave of Plugg without mentioning the man himself, Cash. Cash, who was raised in Atlanta, started out in 2017 sending beats to random artists. Much like everyone else, he was a fan of the beat plugs and would take heavy inspiration from them in the beginning. Eventually, his efforts paid off, and he would get his first placement with famous Dex on Dex's song Stop It. He would begin working heavily with underground artists like Lil Zelly, Baby Goyard, and Texaco. But it was his songs with Slime Dollars that gave him some of his first attention, and from
there, my son Slime Dollars. This nigga like the worst rapper, but like the best listened to nigga. Like I don't know, like
your name in the underground. I'm sure if you're an active SoundCloud user, you definitely heard his
I really like to use Cash
tag multiple times. Some other important producers and artists during this time period were Do Vinci, Alto SGP, Zanman Shadi, and Cape the Goat, just to name a few. But although all of these artists and producers were keeping Plugg alive in the underground scene, throughout late 2018 to 2020, to the mainstream, the sign was pretty dead, until it received the ultimate cosign from the most unlikely source. In 2020, Drake would release his mixtape Dark Lane demo tapes, and I'm sure everybody was surprised when they clicked on the 12th track on the project, From Florida with Love, and they heard the Plugg tag. The song was produced by Mexico Dro, and it turns out it was actually recorded in late 2017, which makes sense since we know how Drake likes to hop on trends. But it was still a surprise that he ended up officially releasing it. But technically, this wasn't Drake's
I want to hear that song.
Hopping on a Plugg type instrumental. I'm Upset, released in 2018 on Drake's Scorpion album, is pretty much a Plugg beat and everything from the
I don't remember
drum patterns. It was also produced by working on Dying's Oogie Mane, who's another legendary SoundCloud producer. So shit, I guess Drake really is more tapped in than we think. But only a year later, in 2021, Plugg would be essentially revived by the newer SoundCloud wave. Artists like Cash Domi would
touch a rap neck.
The song's reparations,
the dreads on the top of the head.
Traditional Plugg style. His debut album Epiphany was nearly all Plugg, and the project would do pretty good numbers. Other artists like Jades, Z, and many more that, not gonna lie, I just don't feel like listening right
this
now,
music video
but
is
also
dirt,
go viral
bro.
with
This
their
nigga just went to the beach.
Even Plugg and B would start blowing up as well, with rappers like Summers and Autumn starting to blow up during this time. In addition to all the newcomers, rappers like Boofpack Mookie and Tony Snow would also have Plugg tracks go viral on TikTok. With all of these songs blowing up, Plugg would slowly start becoming popular again. And there's a lot you can say about the 2021 wave, but we have to give credit where credit is due. They were a huge part of why Plugg gained relevance.
That's a female rapper that don't talk about her pussy.
In the present day, although not as big as it
Let me
once
chill.
was, Plugg is definitely still alive and well. Dro himself started releasing music pretty consistently, and it's really good in my opinion. Stupid Cool and Playboi Shawty just released some solid tapes if you want to check those out. Corey Lingo is continuing to advance the Plugg and B sound alongside newer artists like Lil Sean. There's also prods like Perk 40 and Bullymon, two of my favorite producers at the moment, who have their own wave going on. Their beats include crazy 808s and melodies, but at the core is, again, the OG Plugg sound. All of this, in my opinion, is why Plugg will never truly die. As long as we have artists and producers that are constantly experimenting and changing things up, the sound is only going to become more diverse and widespread. So as you can see, the impact Plugg has had on music is insane. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I need to cut all the OG Plugg prods a check for everything they've done for that app, because a playlist ain't cutting it.
Bro, this nigga's
that
body.
Plugg playlist is actually trash.
Like hella
if you're watching this,
disproportionate.
please hit me up, because that intern or whoever you got running it, they are completely
Yo, why is he throwing shots through SoundCloud? Like, that's how you get dizzed. Imagine they had the top.
That about
Yo,
wraps
fuck
up
this
this
nigga.
video.
Wait, what's his
Thank y'all
name?
so much
Ninja
for watching
Saki?
it. Like I said in the first one, I really only made this because although I appreciate what SoundCloud tried to do with their doc, they brushed over a lot, so I thought I might as well just fill in the gaps. But thank you to everybody who left feedback on the first one. I tried to make sure I included everything I left out initially. I think
He
I
definitely
covered
flocked
everything
niggas.
important, but if there's still something you think I didn't talk about, then feel free to comment. But overall, if you enjoyed, subscribe, leave a like, all that. I really appreciate it. And with that, I'm out.
Alright, gang. Yo, that's Plugg, the full story. I think Plugg is the best type of beats in the world. I'm not lying. Low key, I fuck with this nigga's videos, bro. I want a story on Flu Hunchos. If somebody got that, bro, let me know. I want a documentary story on Flu Hunchos. Cause I know my son locked right now, but can you still free him? And no, I don't know what he did.